So my name is Adam. I'm American, from Philadelphia. So I've been living in Munich for about 6 years now. And I've been studying metaphysics on my own for about 10 years, sort of personal exploration for truth. And because we're all sort of looking for answers, how to be happy, how to create the life we want, and this was sort of my path. And at some point, while I was in Germany, several things happened that sort of sent me into a depression. So like most of us, probably happens, at least once in our lives. And so what I did is, in my situation, I realized, sort of being on my own, no one could really help me. And even, was going to some therapists here, and they didn't really understand me. So it became clear that it was different. And for me, there was a reason why this was happening. And then I looked at the things that I'd studied and was very interested in, and I actually applied them in different ways. I did a lot more research and trial and error, and I got myself sort of out of a hole and into a very exciting life. So I'm pretty happy with everything at the moment. And I'm also a natural teacher. I enjoy teaching. I taught music when I was younger, and now I teach metaphysics. I give lectures for Meetup, Internations, and other groups around the city. I've made some online courses, done some private coaching. It's not the only thing I do. It's one expression of my passion, but it's a really big one. So, yeah, what is metaphysics? It covers a whole range of topics, and mostly the ones I talk about have to do with law of attraction. Has anyone ever heard of that? Yeah, raise your hand. I need to know who I'm speaking to. Yeah, law of attraction stuff. So law of vibrational attraction. And there are a lot of people interested in this topic nowadays. And I was very interested too. And I always needed to know exactly how everything worked. And basically the law of attraction was whatever that were vibrational energy, and whatever you put out would come back to you. You can use that to create this reality, sort of like magic. But I really wanted to know, how deep did it go? So, I think my topic was talking about the inner void, so I don't want to stray too much off topic. But what I call laws of existence, I sort of start with that. And this is just my perspective that works for me and that has worked for other people. One of the first laws of existence is that we live in an unconditional, supporting universe. And some people may say it's a harsh universe, but really it's unconditional, and it supports you in whatever you choose, and that could be positive or negative. The second is that everything exists here and now, and you can go into how there are parallel realities and everything sort of exists at once. And the third is what you put out is what you get back in terms of vibrational resonance, how you are being. And that really connects to your belief systems about yourself and about the world. And what I learned is that since the universe is unconditional, and there are very few facts except for different versions of laws of existence, and everything else is an opinion. And what I learned is that any belief that we have is valid. Every perspective that we have is valid. Everything can be experienced as truth, whether it's actually happening or not. Whatever you buy into, that is the reality you experience. So you might hear people say certain beliefs like, oh, it's hard to get an apartment in Munich, or it's hard to make, yeah, you're nodding your head, it's hard to make friends, when really you can create that experience for yourself, but it's not inherently true. So why do we buy into certain beliefs? Well, it's sort of what we've been taught. And we live now in an age where you don't have to, work 9 to 5. You can make money using the internet. You can support yourself with your passions. We don't have to walk blindly with these beliefs that we were taught, because we were born in a certain age, sort of on the cusp of the way things used to be, and then an acceleration of technology and all these new possibilities. And people getting famous from Snapchat and supporting themselves, doing magic on the streets, lots of things. So we have positive beliefs, but we also have negative beliefs about ourselves and the world. And ask yourself, why do we buy into these? And really, we're choosing. So if we take responsibility for whatever we're choosing, then we can, in effect, change what we're choosing. But the thing that makes negative beliefs, such as I'm unloved or not good enough or unworthy, those are usually what the negative beliefs boil down to. Fears based in lack, when there's no really such thing as lack. The universe is actually abundance and love, but it's so unconditionally supportive that you can have an abundance of lack. You can have an experience of lack. You can have an experience of failure when it's just an experience you're creating for yourself. So you can ask yourself, what do I want to create? And what I did was I went through all the beliefs that I didn't like, and this is what I work with people on, because sometimes they're very, 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 very tricky, these negative beliefs, because these negative beliefs, they create these emptiness and this void inside that we fill with everything we can. Smoking, drinking, Netflix, food, sex, none of these things are inherently bad by themselves. But if we use them to fill a void, we get this sort of temporary satisfaction, and that's what this void wants. It wants you to take action from the void, because all these beliefs, they perpetuate themselves to give you an experience of this physical reality. So they give you a reason, you have a benefit for choosing what you believe. Now, this talk normally takes a couple hours. So I tell people to find that belief, go searching for it, and it will try to distract you. Every time you distract yourself from doing what you love out of fear, procrastination, it creates this void. And you have to ask yourselves, why am I choosing not to start this? Why am I choosing not to do that? What could happen? Or you have an interaction with someone and you're not feeling good or you're feeling sad, and you just ask yourself this question, what would I have to believe is true about myself to feel this way, to buy into this? What would I have to believe to be true? So after this, if you guys want to ask a question, and maybe someone wants to ask a question, but you're afraid to raise your hand, what's the belief about yourself that could happen? Could something bad happen to you? What's the benefit of not raising your hand? Maybe not being invalidated. And this was one of my key issues. Growing up very, very shy, was wanting to express myself so much, but out of fear of invalidation of everyone else, I would invalidate myself first, and that was the benefit that I would get from that belief of not being good enough. And then I would naturally just not stand out, not be included. Nothing negative was going on, but I'd create that experience for myself in many different ways. And so then I'd start acting on the things that brought me joy, that resonated with me, and sharing them with people. And one by one, as I would do those things, the fears would come up, and then I would explore them. What would I have to believe to be true about myself to feel this way? And what's the benefit I'm getting out of it? What would it mean if I actually did it that I'm afraid of? And so what I tell people, and I'm going to sort of blanket this formula of no matter where you are, if you're in a void of anxiety that you can't get out of, or if you're bored, or if you don't know what you want to do with your life, is at every moment you have options in front of you, what you could be doing. And out of those options, you just pick the one that resonates the most with you. And it could be so small, because life is about expressing yourself in so many different ways. You're not just going to have one job. You're going to do several things. I do this. I'm a singer-songwriter. I have a day job. I have many expressions of my excitement. You're not going to just do one thing. And that counts for every moment of your time. You have these options in front of you. Everything that you need is here, now, in front of you, and everything that is not relevant for you at this moment. This is what I've learned. And when you take action on what is most resonant, you can step out of this void. So you can get stuck in this pattern of getting this temporary relief from filling the void, and it just keeps perpetuating itself because that's what it's designed to do. So, but the one way to step out of it and step into empowerment is at every moment, look at the options in front of you, whether it's to go for a walk, do some yoga, call a friend. Just do that without any expectation at all, because expectation will limit you. So you do this, and then after you're done that, you're in a completely different state than you were before. And you look at the next things, what's in front of you. And then you act on that, but you notice you perceive something that you didn't perceive before. And that is because you're in a different state. That's how you know that you've changed, because you only perceive what you are the vibration of, what you're being. So you just keep stepping into this path, and you become connected and aligned with yourself, and you feel this energy just sort of coming out of you. Maybe it's different for everyone. I feel it come out of my hands and in the back of my chest when I'm experiencing it, and it will take you to your fears. And that's one of the things that it does. But it takes you to them to explore them, and you can separate yourself and just saying, I'm having an experience right now, Maybe I'm feeling not good enough or scared. I'm having an experience. Maybe I feel like I've failed at something. I'm having an experience of failure, but it's not actually true. I've changed so many situations with people at work and friends, experiencing myself in different versions of them that exist sort of simultaneously. And this is a big subject, and my 12 minutes are up, but feel free to ask me any questions.